Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, the Movie Apprentice, and today I am going to be looking at The Boy and the Heron, which I saw at London Film Festival about 2 months ago at this point, and I do apologise for the delay in getting this review out. Before I get into it though, I want to say a massive thank you to all the love this channel has been receiving over the last week. It has absolutely blown me away. The Napoleon review has hit over 1,000 views at this point, and the sub count has increased by the greatest number it has done in my 6 years of doing this channel. So yeah, apart from my little list there, thank you so much. But yeah, The Boy and the Heron. This is the return of Hayao Miyazaki taking the reins back after the infamously poor Earwig and the Witch, which almost completely discredited Studio Ghibli as this iconic studio with a high quality output. Does Hayao Miyazaki's first film in 10 years and possibly his last film live up to expectations? Well, let's look into this. So this follows a young boy who yearns for his deceased mother, who ends up going in to a alternate world where life and death meet in order to rescue his stepmother. Before I get into my review, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, do click that like button and subscribe for more reviews like this coming all the time. But without further ado, let's look into this movie. Hayao Miyazaki is one of the greatest directors to ever do this, and while I will not say this is his best film, this is definitely no Spirited Away or When Marnie Was There. It is a return to form for Studio Ghibli. The art in this is as you would expect. The unique way that characters are drawn within Studio Ghibli comes through once again and feels like meeting an old friend. I am always endeared by the way that Ghibli draws its elder folk. There is a unique beauty to them that you don't see in any other particular media. With Hayao Miyazaki, you get what you expect from Hayao, and that is some good quality storytelling with some unique themes to it. And there are some familiar tropes that he incorporates into this movie as well. You want to look at some old World War II symbology or commentary that is present within this film. You want to see a Spirited Away style extra world that exists alongside our own world. This film also provides that. The dynamic between our lead character and another character forming a friendship, a bond that almost goes beyond relationships, you get that as well. There is always these messages within Studio Ghibli, and The Boy and Heron very much returns back to form when it comes to that. Now, I will admit I was almost hesitant about actually reviewing this because when I did actually get to see it at the London Film Festival, it was about halfway through and I was quite dazed and had a hard time focusing. And that wasn't a detriment to the movie. It's more of the fact that watching back-to-back films, your brain's a little bit fried, and reading subtitles was a tough one for me. So I did have some difficulty following this movie, but I still very much enjoyed it. And I feel like on a repeat viewing, I will be able to follow it more because my mind's a bit more awake. It is quite jarring, the sudden shift from the real world to this very bright, fully coloured world that features portals to different time periods and seeing his deceased mother through the years. There is a lot that goes on in this movie. If I had to say there was any negatives with The Boy and the Heron, is that it ends quite suddenly, and that is always a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. Plus, there is a revelation that isn't really played out like a revelation that doesn't really translate very well. Like, we as the audience know what this revelation is going to be, but the revelation never really happens. It just kind of the main character knows this revelation. It just feels like there was a misbeat when it comes to that. Also, the film goes from this very intriguing story of this other world and how it works, and the subject of passing this bright world of life and death on to somebody else. There is a whole build up to it, and it feels rather rushed in the last 20 minutes. The film goes from, I'm not going to say 0 to 100 because it slowly escalates from 0 to 100 over the course of the film. But I will say this film definitely goes from a solid 70 to 100 really quickly. There is a sudden spark where a certain character makes a choice that seems very bizarre, and it sets off a chain reaction that, for me, feels very sudden, and then the end of the film comes very sudden as well. I enjoyed the story in this. I loved the themes of grief, which was a very prevalent theme when it came to films at the London Film Festival this year. And I will say that the visuals are always stunning when it comes to classic Ghibli style. The visuals are absolutely beautiful, and there are some dramatic themes to be found within this movie. It is not Hayao Miyazaki's best. It is not going to be the challenger to Across the Spider-Verse that I thought it would be going into it, but that makes it no means a bad movie. As those of you that saw my massive list ranking every single Studio Ghibli film, it is a studio, especially when Miyazaki's in charge, that provides constant quality. Even my top 15 are all films that I would say are really good, that are definitely worth checking out. And this very much falls into that category. It is definitely not top tier Ghibli for me personally, but it is definitely a movie that renew some faith in the studio after a very negative direction that it went in with its previous outing. Before I get into my grade, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, do click that like button and subscribe for more video reviews like this coming all the time. And be sure to follow me on socials like X, Letterboxd, and Facebook, as well as Instagram. Without further ado, let's grade this. So, The Boy and the Heron, it is the return of Hayao Miyazaki. Might be his last film, probably won't be. He has ideas, and I'm pretty sure this guy is going to die just animating something. He loves this studio so much. It is a greatest hits movie of his. It shows all the top qualities from all of his previous films, puts it into a blender, and pours it into a cup that is this movie. Visually, it is a return to form. I always value the way that certain characters are designed. The otherworld aspect of it is really bright and colorful and energetic. There are some emotional beats that don't quite land with me, and the film does feel very rushed in that last 20 minutes. And unlike Spirited Away, where it felt rushed purely because I wanted to see more of it at that point, this one, whilst I was ready to see the ending, it feels like the third act is rushed and squished together in the last 20 minutes, and it feels like could have done with another 10 minutes of screen time to really flesh out what this whole film story was about. I'm going to have to say that for me, The Boy and the Heron is a good cup of tea. So The Boy and the Heron, have you seen it? If you have, let me know you for down in the comments below. It's out in America today, comes out at the end of the month in the UK, so do let me know what you thought of this movie. But until next time, everybody, my name is Josh, I am the Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.